The jungle holds its breath. A primal force emerges, guided by the ancient laws of survival.
Here, in the moonlit dark, two apex predators meet.
Just a little further now, Habibti. Don't worry about the sounds outside. Just focus on my voice and keep moving.
Two forces, primal and absolute, meet at the void.
The jungle holds its breath for the unseen, a threat greater than their own.
They slid into the abyss, trusting the wet rock to hide them from what pursued them above. In this place, the dawn brings not hope, but a new struggle against the wild.
They had walked for days, fueled only by the desperate hope of reaching the river.
The rainforest hides its secrets well. A subtle drought, a silent killer moving faster than the ants themselves.
In the deep canopy, the modern world meant nothing. No signal, no power, just the terrifying silence of being truly alone.
They put this sign here for a reason. To keep us out, or to keep something in.
These woods hold secrets.
The wilderness held many secrets, but the prints in the mud told a story of something far older. They told us this place was untouched, a paradise. But in the jungle's heart, paradise has teeth.
Thirst was a constant companion out here. But Mai had learned that giving up simply wasn't an option.
In the heart of the jungle, every drop was a victory against the unforgiving wilderness.
In this unforgiving wilderness, survival is measured drop by drop. It is the difference between life and the end of the line.
In this unforgiving wilderness, every shadow hides a predator, and every breath could be your last.
They had to move fast, but quietly. The slightest sound could mean the difference between survival and becoming part of the undergrowth.
The path offered a glimpse of hope, a sanctuary in the endless green. But in this wilderness, survival wasn't a goal. It was a daily struggle against the encroaching darkness.
Survival wasn't about finding safety. It was about navigating the danger. They knew one wrong step here could cost them everything.
This map, old as it is, marks the only way through the Deadlands. We have to reach that tower before sundown.
The lake represented their last hope for clean water. But getting there meant crossing the old demarcation line.
In the suffocating midday heat, the real danger moved unseen, a silent hunter seeking its next meal.
Every breath had to be controlled, every instinct silenced. Out here, panic was the real enemy.
Above the canopy, shrouded in mist, stood the last sign of civilization. In the quiet ruins, every object held a desperate promise. The rope, the knife, the lighter.
Survival wasn't about strength, it was about preparation. And in this forgotten corner, these few supplies were all that remained.
Survival wasn't just about the next meal. Sometimes, it was about the small comforts that reminded them what they were fighting for.
They knew the rules of the wild. When the shadow falls, you remain absolutely still, for silence is the only prayer the lion understands.
They knew the slightest sound could betray them. The creature outside was waiting, patient.
In the jungle, the rain doesn't just fall, it attacks. And we were barely holding on.
Under the relentless assault of the sky, even the strongest structures began to weep. Survival was measured in drops, not hours. Survival demanded vigilance, but even more, it demanded hope. In that tiny sip, they found the strength to continue.
This outpost was meant to be a sanctuary. Now, as the light fades, it's nothing.
They knew the outpost offered no sanctuary. The jungle was their only path forward, a path shrouded in mist and uncertainty. In this jungle, silence was their only defense. Every step a gamble, every breath a risk.
The droppings were fresh. Whatever it wasn't far ahead.
In the quiet fog of the morning, the swamp holds its breath. A predator older than time itself watches from the shadows.
The swamp offered no sanctuary. Here, survival was measured not in miles, but
Morning brought little comfort. The swamp stretched out before them, a misty, impassable barrier.
In the heart of the swamp, every step was a gamble. They knew failure here meant losing everything they had left. Deep in the swamps, the ancient predator waits, patient, silent, ready to strike when the moment is right. Survival wasn't just about strength, it was about trust. He knew she was scared, but they had to keep moving.
It rises from the depths, a silent hunter. It watches, it waits.
With the anaconda lurking just beneath the surface, the mother's rhythmic tapping was all that kept them alive.
Here, the water holds its secrets close. But even the swamp cannot hide the tremor of approach.
The silence of the jungle holds a terrible secret. He watches, not yet hungry, but asserting his claim.
They built this tower to see what was coming, but the jungle always wins in the end.
The old tower groaned under their weight, a rusted skeleton against the dying light. They had to reach the top before nightfall.
Below the platform, the darkness waited. It knew she was there, and soon she knew.
In this darkness, miles above the canopy, the tower stood as the last beacon. But even beacons eventually fade. On the platform, miles from safety, the torch was more than just light. It was their only hope of survival until dawn.
He circles the light, a shadow in the mist.
the metal groaned under the weight, a desperate warning. Below, something stirred, and the family knew their sanctuary was about to fall.
High above the wreckage, the true battle was fought not with flesh and blood, but with rusted metal and the relentless howl of the wind.
The signal was their last chance. If no one answered by dawn, they were truly alone.
In this unforgiving wilderness, every creature knows its place. The lion wields to the night, and the serpent returns.
Dawn brought little comfort here. We had to reach the water before the heat took hold, or we wouldn't survive another day. Silence was their only defense now. Every step had to be measured, every breath controlled. Here, at the edge of the known world, The fight for survival began anew with the rising sun. In this new world, nothing was simple. Even the basic need for water required vigilance and precision. In this silence, the steam was a visible prayer. Another sunrise, another day to endure the...
Across the shimmering expanse, the king surveyed his domain. Patient, powerful, and utterly unforgiving.
Survival meant moving without sound, trusting the reeds to conceal them from the eyes that watched from the water.
Morning brought little comfort. The lake held its secrets close, and we were running out of time.
We searched for days, clinging to the hope of rescue. But the emergency box held only this.
Survival demanded a silent pact, a commitment etched in fear and resolve. They waited for days, hoping someone, anyone, would see their desperate plea.
In the unforgiving wilderness, every sound is a matter of life or death. Even the king of the jungle.
For 3 days, the lake had held them captive. Now, only the sound of the approaching engine offered a glimmer of hope.
They had survived the wilderness, relying on each other. Now, rescue was finally at hand.
They left the darkness behind, carrying the weight of their survival, forever changed but unbroken.